addiction to amphetamines, alcoholism, ego clashes, separation, the death of a brother addicted to cocaine, sudden death, cancer, and regrets marked the lives of the trio. The Bee Gees, one of the most iconic and influential bands in the history of music, have their roots deeply intertwined with a remarkable journey that spans decades. Born on the Isle of Man, England, brothers Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb embarked on a journey that would take them from a childhood filled with challenges to worldwide fame. Music was the common thread that bound these brothers together as they faced obstacles, triumphs, and even tragedies, shaping not only their careers, but also the music scene as a whole. In today's video, we will delve into the captivating story of the Bee Gees and discover the nuances of a journey that echoed through generations and continents, winning hearts and minds with their unmatched music and talents. Our journey begins on the quiet Isle of Man, England, where three future music legends were born in 1946. Specifically, on September 1st, Barry Gibb came into the world, followed by the twin brothers Robin and Maurice Gibb. Born on December 22nd, the Gibb family was destined to create one of the most notable bands in history. After the turbulent period of World War II, they decided to move to Manchester, England, in search of new opportunities. The declining industrial landscape of this city would be the stage where the musical talents of the brothers would begin to manifest to the world. From an early age, the Gibbs' childhood was marked by their distinct personalities. Robin, one of the twins, showed a curious spirit but also exhibited somewhat delinquent behavior that caught the attention of local authorities. Due to issues with fires, for example, his relationship with the police was not unknown. Seeing the local authorities in Manchester suggested to the family that they consider the possibility of immigrating to Australia. In August 1958, the Gibb brothers' parents, along with their children, embarked on a new journey, leaving behind their homeland in England and moving to Australia. The three brothers, accompanied by their older sister Leslie and younger brother Andy, started a new life in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. This significant change brought them closer to the stage where their true musical journey would begin. In Australia, the brothers quickly immersed themselves in the local music scene, bringing their unique harmonies and passion for music to the stages. While seeking ways to sustain themselves, they began performing to earn money. However, destiny had something special in store for them. Two visionaries in the local music industry, race promoter Bill Good and radio personality Bill Gates, soon recognized the potential of the young talents. It was Gates who gave the brothers their iconic name, Bee Gees, an abbreviation of their combined initials. The name, originally meaning the Bee Gees, was later changed to Bee Gees. Although the name didn't have a specific meaning, it would become synonymous with one of the most influential and iconic bands in the history of music. The opportunity to perform at the City Racetrack in 1960 opened a new chapter in the musicians' history. They sang during race intervals, captivating the audience and becoming an attraction in their own right. The audience not only applauded, but also showed their support by throwing money on the track, which the brothers collected as a reward for their unforgettable performances. However, despite their talent and tireless efforts, they did not achieve the desired success in Australia at that time. In 1967, the Gibb family made the decision to return to England, hoping to find musical and international opportunities that would finally make sense for the band and lead them to the stardom they so desired. The decision to return to England was a crucial step toward the trio's success. They not only brought with them the lessons and experience gained during their journey in Australia, but also a resilient spirit and unquestionable determination. From there, the stage was set for the Bee Gees to etch their name in the history of music indelibly, winning hearts worldwide and leaving a mark that would resonate for generations. The 1960s marked the meteoric rise of the Bee Gees in the music scene. With their undeniable talent and captivating harmonies, they quickly caught the industry's attention. In 1967, they signed a contract with the Polydor record label and released a series of albums that won the hearts of fans around the world. Success was crowned by memorable hits like Massachusetts and To Love Somebody. To love somebody. The unique combination of their voices and skillful compositions set them apart in the saturated music scene of that time. As they paved the path to success, the Bee Gees also faced various challenges, including a period of creative rivalry with other music giants like the Beatles. Interestingly, competing with the Beatles fueled the band's creativity, leading them to create songs that became timeless classics. The year 1968 was another milestone in the Bee Gees' journey, marked by the release of the band's fifth album titled Idea. This album was a landmark in the band's history and featured unforgettable hits such as the success I've Gotta Get a Message to You and I Started a Joke. The ongoing success of the band further solidified their reputation in the music industry. The release of the album Odessa in 1969 was marked by internal controversies and changes in the band's lineup. The album featured songs like First of May and Lamplight,
and you were gone.
but also witnessed the departure of guitarist Vince Melouney, who was dismissed. Additionally, the relationship between the brothers Robin and Barry was strained due to ego issues and disputes over vocal leadership, leading Robin to make the decision to leave the group. The impact of these changes was amplified by the departure of drummer Colin Peterson, who also chose to go his own way. This phase of challenges and transformations was a crucial moment in the Bee Gees' history. Despite the temporary separation, the Bee Gees did not let it be the end of their musical careers. Each pursued their own path, exploring new opportunities. Barry Gibb continued to shine as a songwriter and solo artist, releasing albums like Now Voyager and In the Now, where his deep and emotive compositions showcased his ability to create timeless music. Robin, on the other hand, embarked on his own solo musical journey, releasing albums like Robin's Reign and How Old Are You? Additionally, Robin ventured into composing soundtracks for films, including Career Opportunities. Maurice, while remaining a pillar of the music industry as a Bee Gees member, also explored music production and collaborated with other artists, working as a producer on albums for artists like Jimmy Ruffin and Lulu. Maurice also released a solo instrumental album called The Loner. Despite this separation, fate had other plans for these quarrelsome siblings, and in the mid-1970s, the Gibb brothers went through a period of reconciliation. After all, among siblings, there are always disagreements, right? There's always something, but the important thing is to always make amends. Just a tip for you. After facing differences and disagreements, they decided to reunity and continue their musical journey together. In an interview that year, Barry recalled that Robin contacted him during his vacation in Spain with the proposal to restart the band. The man called me in Spain, where I was on vacation, saying, "Let's do it again." The reunion was formalized on August 21, 1970, when they announced that the Bee Gees were back and would never split again. Maurice also publicly apologized to Robin for past disagreements. "We want to publicly apologize to Robin for things that were said," he said. During this period, both Robin and Maurice had already recorded some songs before the reconciliation, and these songs were incorporated into the subsequent album. In 1970, the album 2 Years On was released, featuring the single Lonely Days, which reached the 3rd place on the U.S. charts. This period also marked a commercial comeback for the trio, with appearances on various television shows. In 1971, a new album was released, bringing another major success. The song How Can You Mend a Broken Heart topped the American charts. This single also earned the band their first Grammy nomination for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. Unfortunately, however, the 1970s also brought various challenges. The band experienced ups and downs in terms of popularity, releasing albums that did not match the success of their earlier work. A new album released in 1973 was evidence of this and did not perform well in sales. Additionally, personal issues and challenges related to drug and alcohol abuse continued to affect the Gibb brothers. Nevertheless, they strove to reinvent themselves musically and sought collaborations with other artists. After a move to Miami, Florida, suggested by Eric Clapton, the Gibb brothers began recording at Criteria Studios. Abandoning their usual ballads, they embraced the disco sound, resulting in major hits like Jive Talkin' and Nights on Broadway. This eventually led to the release of the album Main Course, marked by Barry Gibb's famous falsetto. However, the definitive milestone of this time was their participation in the soundtrack of the movie Saturday Night Fever. The soundtrack and the film became cultural icons, symbolizing the global disco fever. The Bee Gees' collaboration with producer Robert Stigwood resulted in unforgettable hits like How Deep Is Your Love and Stayin' Alive.
And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love?
The album became the best-selling of all time at that point, with over 40 million copies sold. It was a total success. The album's Spirits Having Flown solidified the Bee Gees' success, generating wonderful hits like Too Much Heaven, Tragedy, and Love You Inside Out. However, as the popularity of the disco movement waned, the Bee Gees' career was also affected. They had one last major hit in the United States with One in 1989. This period witnessed both the peak and decline of the Bee Gees' popularity, shaped by the disco era's excitement and their lasting contribution to musical culture. In the late 1980s, the Bee Gees experienced a reunion with success, releasing the album ESP in 1987. This comeback was marked by a mix of emotions, a combination of excitement and nostalgia. The album sold an incredible 2 million copies, rejuvenating the brothers' careers. This achievement not only reinforced their musical dominance, but also became a moment of celebration and gratitude, especially as it reached the top of the charts in the UK, marking the group's success in each of the 3 decades, the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s. Unfortunately, however, a somber moment deeply shook the Bee Gees' trajectory in 1988. Andy Gibb, the youngest brother, passed away at the age of 30 due to heart complications after years of drug abuse. The pain of losing a loved one transcended the musical sphere, and the Bee Gees felt the need to honor Andy's memory. In a show of unity and support, they formed the group The Bunburys with Eric Clapton, aiming to raise funds for charities. This collaboration not only reflected solidarity among the brothers, but also deepened the bonds of friendship that united them. Despite personal struggles and adversity, music remained a source of expression and healing for the Bee Gees brothers. Releasing albums like One in 1989, they kept the flame of artistic creation alive. The song Wish You Were Here was dedicated to Andy and served not only as an emotional tribute, but also as a way to channel complex feelings through art. The 1990s brought new challenges and triumphs. Facing health issues and overcoming personal obstacles, the Bee Gees released albums like 1997's Still Waters, which brought the band back to the music charts. Barry, during this period, dealt with back problems that required surgery, while also grappling with arthritis, which threatened his ability to play the guitar. Additionally, Maurice decided to seek treatment for his alcoholism, a struggle he had been facing for several years. Their music continued to captivate the audience, and the honor of the Outstanding Contribution to Music Award at the 1997 Brit Awards was recognition of both their achievements and resilience. The end of the decade was marked by live performances and new projects, showing that their passion for music was stronger than ever. Closing the century with the Bee Gees' BG2K concert on December 31, 1999, the Bee Gees not only left their mark on the music world, but also left a legacy of perseverance and dedication to their art. In 2001, the Bee Gees released This Is Where I Came In, which ultimately became the group's last album of original material. The album was well received, reaching the top 10 in the UK and the top 20 in the United States. The title track also stood out as a successful single in the UK top 20. The Bee Gees' final performance as a trio took place in 2002. However, a tragic event deeply shook the family and fans. On January 9, 2003, Maurice Gibb underwent emergency surgery at Mount Sinai Hospital in Miami to treat an intestinal blockage. Unfortunately, during the procedure, he suffered a cardiac arrest due to complications related to the surgery. Sadly, he passed away 3 days later on January 12. The family raised suspicions about the possibility of a medical error contributing to his death, but the subsequent autopsy revealed that Maurice had a congenital problem causing deformations in the intestine. This pre-existing condition ultimately contributed to the tragedy, leading to the cardiac arrest and his premature loss. Maurice's funeral was held privately and gathered around 200 family and friends, including notable figures like Michael Jackson. Journalist and family friend Jennifer Volpe shared that the event was emotional but also celebratory, highlighting how Maurice valued life. It was touching, there was humor. Everyone talked about how this was a man who truly celebrated life, and therefore, it was a celebration of his life. After Maurice's departure, his brothers Barry and Robin initially expressed the desire to keep the Bee Gees' name as a tribute to his memory. However, over time, they decided to retire the group's name, leaving it to represent the three brothers together. Barry and Robin later expressed, in an interview with the BBC, their bewilderment about the circumstances of Maurice's death. Robin shared his feelings, stating that he and Maurice grew up together and spent their lives united by music. He expressed difficulty in accepting his brother's death. "We were kids together and teenagers. We spent our lives together because of our music. I can't accept that he's gone. I just imagine he's alive somewhere else." In the following years, the brothers continued to dedicate themselves to music and charitable causes. Robin embarked on a solo tour in Germany, Russia, and Asia in 2004, while Barry collaborated with various renowned artists. In 2006, a touching moment occurred when Barry and Robin took the stage together, again after Maurice's death. They sang together at a charity concert in Miami to raise funds for an institute caring for people with diabetes. From 2009 to 2012, Barry and Robin had several noteworthy performances. Additionally, in May 2010, they surprised everyone by appearing at the end of the 9th season of American Idol. However, in November 2011, another dark moment began. Robin Gibb was diagnosed with liver cancer at the age of 61. His health had deteriorated in the preceding months, leading to the cancellation of some performances due to severe pain. He still participated in a charity concert in February 2012, which would be his last public appearance before his death. In late April 2012, Robin contracted pneumonia and fell into a coma. Although he emerged from the coma a few weeks later, his health declined rapidly. On May 20, 2012, at the age of 62, Robin Gibb passed away from liver and kidney failure, thus concluding his journey. Over the years, the brothers Robin and Barry maintained a tumultuous relationship, both personally and professionally, persisting until the end. However, despite all these differences, Barry paid a poignant tribute at Robin's funeral, emphasizing the transformation of conflict into insignificance in the face of his brother's departure. He expressed that previous disagreements no longer held any importance and encouraged everyone to rid themselves of conflicts in their own lives. To the end, we found conflict with each other, which now means nothing. It just means nothing. If there's conflict in your lives, get rid of it, the singer said during the funeral. Barry also spoke about the deep bond between Robin and his twin brother Maurice, highlighting that they were now reunited. Barry shared details about the internal struggle that Robin faced after Maurice's loss a decade earlier, acknowledging that this loss had a profound impact on his brother and affected various aspects of his life. Both were beautiful, and now they're together. I think Robin's biggest pain in the last few years was losing his twin brother, and I think that did all kinds of things to him. Between September and October 2013, Barry embarked on his first solo tour, a tribute to his brothers and their musical life. During this period, he released a special collection titled The Studio Albums 1967-1968. In 2016, Barry released In the Now, his first solo album in decades, and Bee Gees music was again distributed by Universal. The relationship between the talented Bee Gees brothers was marked by profound challenges and personal conflicts over the years. Each of them faced their own internal battles while seeking success in the music industry. A curious part of the brothers' lives occurred during the peak of their careers when the trio had a special connection with Michael Jackson, developed through an intimate friend, Frank Delio. A documentary released in 2020 revealed this interesting relationship. Frank, who was also the Bee Gees manager for a while, acted as an intermediary between the two sides. According to him, Barry Gibb informed Michael Jackson about the creative effects that cannabis, or marijuana, could evoke. Barry stated that many of his successes were written while he was under the influence of the drug. This account led Michael Jackson to express interest in trying the drug. Thus, during a recording session, Michael Jackson and Barry decided to share the drug. There are rumors that the two even drove together through Neverland Ranch while enjoying the effects of the herb. Barry Gibb, the eldest brother, struggled with the pressures of fame that came with Bee Gees' success. However, his wife played a vital role in preventing drugs from entering his life, thus avoiding the dangerous paths of substances. Following a healthier approach, Robin, on the other hand, had a tumultuous relationship with amphetamines, facing a battle against addiction. Andy Gibb, the youngest brother, added an additional burden to the others with his solo career and unfortunately developed a cocaine addiction that had a lasting impact on his health. Additionally, Maurice also had his own battle with addiction. He faced issues with alcohol throughout his life, bringing additional challenges for him and his brothers. Fights among the brothers were frequent and often spilled into the media. The rise of the Bee Gees was marked by issues of ego and rivalry among them, competing over who deserved to be the lead vocalist. This competition was rooted in the equality of vocal abilities and also in their songwriting talent. Despite the tensions, the brothers eventually overcame their differences and achieved a period of considerable success, especially with the release of the 1975 album Main Course. However, their troubled relationship continued to be a recurring theme. The deaths of Maurice and Robin had a profound impact on Barry, who felt the sadness and also the isolation of being the last surviving member of the band. The internal struggles of each of the Bee Gees members reveal the complexities behind success in the music industry. Fame brought both success and challenges for the brothers, but their stories remind us that behind the glitter of the music industry are human beings with their own internal battles. Even in the face of difficulties, the music of the Bee Gees continues to resonate, touching hearts and souls around the world. And thus, we reach the end of today's video. Thank you for being with us once again. Enjoy the video, share it with whoever you want, and if by chance you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and help us spread nostalgic culture even more. Take the opportunity to watch this other emotional story that I'm leaving on the screen. See you in our next